What is up, gamers? It's time for another Utan Present tournament. This is a Dark Cloud 80% glitchless race, but shorter because it's a very long category, 6 hours plus. So Utan Present takes us to the end of the second boss. You just have to beat the second boss, and that's time. So that's around 2 hours to 2.5 hours is the sort of time frame we're looking at here. Looks like the race has started. The gamers are off. Mike has started earlier, but we're going to resync so they will be in time. So Dark Cloud's game about, there's this dark genie that's summoned and he destroys a whole lot of villages across the world. And our main character, Tone, or Toan, he collects all these village parts to rebuild them. So it's a dungeon crawler. You rebuild the town sort of how you want, place the houses where you want them. And it's also got a really cool weapon build-up system. And it's a very RNG dependent run, which can be frustrating, but also exciting, especially in a race setting. Looks like we're synced up now. So RNG is going to determine a lot of things. Whether you get a weapon drop, what weapon that will be, and that's going to affect who pulls ahead by a lot, being able to kill monsters faster if you have a better weapon. We also have RNG, it's RNG dependent whether a monster is going to drop the key for you to progress to the next floor. It's 15 monsters on each floor and you don't know which one will have that key. The sooner you get it, the better. Now those parts to rebuild the world are in these little orbs called Atla. On floor 1 we don't usually pick up any Atla in a speed run because they are 7 out of 8 of the Atla on floor 1 fixed. 7 out of 8 you'll definitely not need to progress. But there is that chance that one of them will have something you need. So in that case, you do have to backtrack. No, that sounded like a key drop, was it? Or was it just an item? It is a key drop, so Ryushon's found the key for the first floor. He can move on to the next one as soon as he finds the exit. And Mike has just come across a weapons chest. What's he going to get? Shamshur, so that's fantastic for him. That is one of the best weapons you can get. The best weapon you can get at this point in the game without having a clown chest where a clown pops out, and he has a different range of weapons he can give you. It's a very low chance and a low chance of getting one from him. So Shamshur is really solid, good weapon. That's great that he picked that up. Now Ryushon's on to floor 2 already, but has not found a weapon yet. And Mike's just gotten his key to move to floor 2 to meet Ryushon there. The weapons in this game do have durability. Your default weapon, the dagger, if the weapon HP gets to 0, the weapon breaks but it doesn't disappear. You can repair it and use it again later. So Ryushon's just repaired his. However, every other weapon that isn't your default weapon, once the weapon HP reaches 0, it will disappear. So you want to keep repairing it so that the HP doesn't reach 0. You do not want your weapons to disappear. Now this floor 2 here has 3 static Atla, fixed Atla that we don't need, but this is where we start picking them up. Ryushon unfortunately got one of the ones he doesn't need. We're looking for a total 13 parts in this first section of the dungeon, up to floor 8. And yeah, once you get all the parts you need, you can start skipping Atla. Each Atla is about 7-8 seconds, so once you've found them all, you can save a lot of time not picking them up. I'm not sure if Mike's realized he's picked up the Shamshur. Oh, that's a shame. That's a waste. Oh. He's not going to sense spirit, is he? That is a strategy, but I don't know about it. So Mike's got Pike. That's the first part that he needs, one of the 13 parts. And Ryushon's got supplies. He needs that as well. I think right now each player has 1 part that they need out of the 13. Yeah, Ryushon's got the next key. I didn't catch if he had any Atla left on the map. I'm not sure if he picked them all up. He might be taking the risk and moving on to the next floor, you know. Save some time if the Atla you need don't end up being on that floor. Just wearing out his dagger? Surely. Alright, he's got his Shamshur equipped now. That's nice. It's going to be a lot quicker killing enemies. I could be saving the WHP. You're right. You do only have 1 repair powder for the time being, so... Mike's having a rough time on this floor, still hasn't got the key. He's killed most of the monsters. It's bad luck. So during the floors in Dark Cloud, there's a random chance of having a locked door that you need to get a key for. So a good strategy is to pick up chests, open chests until you get that key, and then stop usually. Though it is also a strategy to keep opening chests at this early floor of the game, just to get more items because you've barely anything to start with. So Mike here's just opening one of those doors there. There's, what, 1, 2 enemies left for Mike? That's gotta have the key, but that's rough. Meanwhile, Ryushon looks like he's ahead. He is. Oh, Mike's got another chest. What's he getting? Oh, Gladius. Nah, we don't want that. Shamshu is where it's at. But if he does run out of WHP, he can swap to Shamshu. That's a good strat. Good way to do it. Now Mike's finally got the key from the very last monster. That's very rough. Ryushon is ahead at the moment. He's quite a bit past, or through floor 3. However, he did skip, I'm pretty sure he did skip a lot of floor 2, so he might have to backtrack. It might cost him some time, but it might pull through for him. No, Ryushon has broken his dagger. I hope he didn't have any attachments on it. Those would be lost. Mike has gotten the Gaffer's Buggy part. Gaffer's Buggy is the shop. Once you unlock the shop, you can get an item that makes you run really fast. The sooner you can get that shop open, the better, really. And that item, Drain's Feather, can drop, but it is unlikely. Oh, fighting a statue with a broken dagger, that's rough. There's not many enemies left on this floor. We should have the key. Oh, this is looking rough. Does he have some healing items? He does. Very good. Mike also has very low WHP, and I think he's used his repair powder. But he does have the Gladius he could swap to. Nice. Oh, here's 2 repair powders. Alright. He's lucky. That's very nice. Ryushon got the key and he is moving on to floor 4. But first he's going to visit the mirror and he is going to get some repair powder. Real hard taking care of a statue with a broken dagger. He did a good job. Audio's getting a little funny there. It seems to be back to normal. That's good. Mike has just picked up the key, and time for him to move on to floor 4, but first he's going to check out the last corner of this dungeon. Unfortunately, this map layout, it's another thing that's randomized in Dark Cloud, is the map layout. Every time you enter a floor, it's going to be different. He's unfortunately got some really long hallways, that is frustrating, but at least the exit isn't on the other side. It is on this half of it, but it is still a bit of a runaway. Alright, now Mike has all his Atla and he is gunning for the exit. Ryushon has entered floor 4. This is a special floor. You deal with these 3 skeleton soldiers, and then there's going to be a duel, which is sort of a quick time event. If you do really well, if you do your inputs perfect on the quick time event, you do get a gem attachment for a weapon. You can get 1 of 12, and you know, some are better than others. What's he gonna get? So he's got the Peridot. So the Peridot is pretty good. It has 5 attack and 10 holy. That is great. Holy is great for this dungeon as well. So that's really nice that he's gotten that. And now Mike is doing floor 4. He does not need to go visit the mayor. He has heaps of repair powder. Or he still has 1, you know. Mayor never gives you more than 1. There's no need for him to go away. So Mike's just going to keep going through the dungeon. And Mike has gotten the Sapphire. Sapphire does not have any attack, unfortunately. It has 10 magic, 10 wind, and 10 sky. Yeah, none of those are really anything we want to use, unfortunately. Hopefully you can pick up a weapon really soon. Hopefully 1 drops for him, because it's going to start getting real rough if he only has the dagger. He's getting a bit of power-up powder, that's very nice. Free weapon upgrade. And he's got an early key, we love to see that. You will notice the runners having the camera not facing where they're going. This is how we diagonal run in this game, and it is a lot faster. You run a lot faster when you have the camera pointed that way. You sort of have your analog sticks in diagonal directions mirroring each other. It's hard to do perfect, but you save time even if it's not perfect. Ryushon has gotten Pike. Unless I've missed a few, I think the runners have 3 of the Atla they need each. I might have missed some. Well, the sooner they can get all the Atla they need, the more time they can save by skipping them. Mike has just used his last repair powder. And a keg, that is 4 Atla for Mike. And 4 for Ryushon, just like that. These 2 really are neck and neck right now. Mike, they're about the same way about amount of time through floor 5, but Mike has a weapon. However, Ryushon does have the key already for this floor. He's just picking up the Atla. Little misclick there. These things happen. That is 5 Atla for Ryushon. Mike is upgrading his Shamshir. Once you reach 5 upgrades on a weapon, you can get rid of the weapon and turn it into a synth spear that has 60% of all the stats it had on it, and you can put it on another weapon. It boosts those stats up a lot. That's probably what he's going to look to do. Once he gets another better weapon, he can put Shamshir on that. And we are on the Mimic floor. Unfortunately, ryushon still does not have a weapon, so it's going to be a rough one. They really eat up your WHP. Not as much as statues, but they are pretty rough. Especially when they block attacks. That eats up a lot of WHP, weapon HP. Mike is moving on to floor 6. And ryushon just had the key drop. That's great for him, so he doesn't have to kill any more mimics with his dagger. Yeah, ryushon may not have a weapon yet, but he is keeping ahead with his key drops, pulling through for him. And Mike had the key drop now too, that's very good. ryushon's just checking which parts he does have. Seeing how many more outlet he needs. I believe ryushon has 8 of the 13 outlet that he needs, while Mike has 5 at the moment. I don't believe either of them have all the parts for the shop yet. ryushon has moved on to floor 7. Floor 7 is a limited zone, which means there's limited zones. There's a bunch of different ones, but for this one in particular, you're not going to be able to change weapon, and the experience that you've gained with your weapon decreases by the amount it would have increased by each time you kill an enemy. Now, he's just got the dagger, so he doesn't have investment in that he will be wanting to keep. But our main concern is not being able to swap weapons, especially when Mike gets there. Say if Mike runs out of weapon HP, he's not going to be able to swap to his Gladius to pull him through. ryushon, of course, doesn't have another weapon swap to, so it won't be as much of a problem. It doesn't change much for him. Mike now has 7 of the parts that he needs versus ryushon's 9. 8 of the parts he needs. He's catching up. And another power-up powder drop, that's very nice. Yeah, ryushon got the key, he can stop killing enemies now. He's getting some very good key drops, that's nice. But he still hasn't got a weapon drop. Now he's just going to pick up the rest of the outlet he needs on this floor before he leaves. And hopefully they're all here and he doesn't have to backtrack, but we will see. Unfortunately, he's gotten gooed. That slows his movement down a lot. I believe stamina might get rid of that when it disappears, though. Pretty sure it does. I think he's looking for some soap. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any to fix his goo status. There, and his stamina's gone, and that has fixed his goo. Stamina does have a side effect. I'm not sure whether it's intended or not, but it has a side effect that when it times out, it gets rid of poison if you had any, goo if you had any. It does not get rid of curse, though. Ryushon now has 11 parts. And Mike has swapped to Gladius for this floor. That makes sense. And keep his Shamshire safe. Nice. Mike has gotten the key. So now he just needs the rest of the outlet. I think Ryushon might have to backtrack, but might have missed some. We'll find out. As in, I might have missed some. He either has 11 or maybe he has all of the parts. But he did skip quite a few on floor 2, so he might have to go back there. Right, and his gem this time is a diamond. Unfortunately, diamonds are not helpful at all, really. They're great for when you want to build up weapons, but we don't really get around to this in this category. Mike is just getting the last outlet from this floor. He hasn't skipped many, but unfortunately still doesn't have all the parts he needs. I think he's at 10 now. Yeah, so this point Ryushon is at, there's the point where you want to have all the Atla, so you can progress the story. Oh, I might have them all. Oh, it looks like it does, actually. Well, that's lucky for him, that's really good. I did have a race against Mike. That was the last race that me and Mike did. He was the winner, and that is why he's facing Ryushon now, who was the winner of his last race as well. Now ryushon is looking for Renee, Tone's mother. You never quite know where the characters are going to be to talk to them. Sometimes they're wandering around. Alright, he's just grabbing the parts he needs to finish his house, and then he can get the cutscene to progress the plot. And he has also completed the shop. Mike has picked up a Peridot. That is, that's very good. That's very good. It's the same one ryushon picked up earlier with the attack and holy attribute. ryushon has gotten his first ally, Xiao. In a full any percent race, we do use Xiao a lot for she does range damage, and her WHP isn't eaten up depending on the armor of the monster you're fighting. So using ranged is a lot easier in this game. It's also, there's less attacks to dodge. So we do use her a lot. And in this category, we use her if a good weapon for her drops, essentially. So we'll see what happens there. If a good weapon doesn't drop, we'll probably just keep on using time. It looks like Mike has all the parts, and he is... He's trying to get his mother to spawn outside to talk to her, but she wasn't. So we're gonna go inside and talk to her, find out what she wants for the house, put it together and watch the cutscene, and get Xiao as an ally. Alright, ryushon has moved on to floor 9. In this leg of the race, we're looking at getting 5 Atla, just 5 Atla to progress the plot. We need to complete Drain's Windmill, so we need the parts Drain's Windmill, Drain's Bone, Drain's Horn, Sign, and the Torch. I was looking at my notes, I didn't see what he picked up there. I hope it wasn't one of them. Oh, I hope for him it was, but... Really rough to be on floor 9 without a weapon still. He's got another early key. He is getting lucky there. Two tram oils. Well, they sell for a bit at least, but we don't have time to go to the back floor. Alright, Mike is putting together the shop, so he can do his shopping before re-entering the dungeon. We usually put the shop by the entrance there so that when we return from other towns we can run there a lot quicker. Quick supply trips. Looks like Mike's going to sell his gladius. He's putting on his Peridot for the extra attack. Oh, I see a big chest on Ryushon's screen. What's he gonna get? What's he gonna get? Come on. Be something good. Kinda mid. Kinda mid. That's a shame. But it is better than the dagger. It is a lot better than the dagger. Floor 10 and he finally got a weapon. Man. Alright, Mike is starting floor 9. Ryushon is about a floor and a half ahead. But Mike still could catch up at any time. Is that a key drop? It is another key drop. Ryushon has gotten the sign for the windmill. That is one of the 5 parts he needs. Another chest. Is it going to be a better weapon? Oh, here we go. The bandit slingshot. This is Shao's best weapon you can get at this point in the game. That is very lucky. So we might see Ryushon start using Shao for combat a lot now, if he so chooses. Oh, that is very exciting to get that this early. Mike has gotten the key for floor 9. It's a nice early key, that's good. But he might still go and pick up the Atla before he leaves. Or he might risk it, it is up to him. Okay, the strat is very valid, and Ryushon has picked up Train's windmill now. It's 2 out of 5 parts that he needs. Now the next floor, floor 11 for Ryushon, is a limited zone where you can only use Shao, so it is perfect that he has picked up Bandit Slingshot before that floor. That is very lucky. Very exciting. Shao's default weapon is pretty bad, so if he hadn't picked that up, he would mostly be relying on bombs. He might still for the beefier enemies. Bombs are very powerful in this game. They one-shot most enemies. especially in, say, the first floor 4 dungeons. A dragon there, that is one of the beefier ones. Parrot powder, very nice. And Mike is onto floor 10. Oh, what was that? Oh no, just an item. These master jackets are quite a pain when they guard like that. They can guard for a very long time. Mike has picked up Drain's bone, that is a part he needs, it's very good. Second power up powder and 2 floors, that is good RNG. That is nice. Sounds like that skeleton soldier, the master jacket rather, has gotten back up and will need to be put down again. Bit of a pain how they do that. We can hear it didn't drop key, he's gonna have to keep killing monsters. He does! He's very lucky, floor 10 drop. Oh, Mike's got a chest, what is it? Another Gladius! I don't think he's so glad about that Gladius, unfortunately. Is that a key? That is the key drop for floor 11. It was not an early key drop, but he is still ahead. And it definitely helped that he had a slingshot for this. For sure. I would love to see a rematch between you two. And I believe Sonic and Ryushon's race was the first one of the tournament. It'd be very exciting to see a race between the two. Whoever wins this race will go on to face Sonic. Alright, Mike is leaving floor 10 and moving on to floor 11, Shao's limited zone. So as Mike's got an early key drop for floor 11, that's very lucky. Moving on to floor 10 immediately. That is really good. Alright, now both players are on floor 12. Mike has got the key for floor 12. Much earlier, I think ryushon is still looking for the key. Mike might pull ahead a bit here, but I think he might still pick up the Atla, we'll see. Oh, another big chest? Ah, it's just King Mimic. I believe most floor 12, 13 and 14 have King Mimics. And he's got the key finally. After killing almost everything on floor 12. Mike is just picking up the Atla and then he'll be leaving. Checking the parts he has. A big chest, and it's another King Mimic. And Mike has gotten Trans Windmill. Nice. So I believe each player has 2 of the 5 parts they need at this point. Ryushon is moving on to floor 13. There are 14 floors to complete, and then there is the boss floor on floor 15. So you want all 5 parts that you need by the end of floor 14. Preferably earlier. Transbone, that is 3 parts now. Yeah, Mike is catching up. They're both at the start of floor 13 together. That early key drop on floor 11 really saved a lot of time for Mike, whereas Utan had to kill most enemies on floor 11. Mike's gotten the key now. Early key. Very nice. So we might see Mike pulling forward here. On top of the 5 Atla that you need, there are also some Atla that are just nice to have. The Pond, Hag's House, Laura's House. I think Hag's House and Laura's House both have power-up powders in them. There's also a Fruit of Eden in Laura's, and the Pond has a defense up item for Shao. Very nice things to have. And Ryushon has gotten the key now as well, so both players have the key but are still on floor 13. So just picking up Atla for these players, and then they'll be onto the last floor of the dungeon before the boss. Trans Horn, nice. That is, I believe both players have 3 of the Atla they need now. It is unfortunate to not have collected them all by floor 14. It is nice to be able to skip picking up Atla, because it is an 8-second cutscene each time you pick one up. Alright, both players onto floor 14. I've got a torch, that is the 4th part for Mike. Just one more, I believe. It might be the sign, if I remember correctly. Now, ryushon might be out of bombs now. Oh, that's rough. So those RNG circles can do a number of good and bad things. If you have your default weapon equipped, they will always give you stamina. But if you have any other weapon equipped, they could decrease your weapon HP, max out your weapon HP, max out your weapon experience, increase or decrease your amount of money by a percentage, which, if you have a lot of money, can suck when it decreases it. But I mean, in a speedrun setting, we don't usually have a whole lot of money. Usually spend it on bombs as we get it. Alright, Mike has all the parts and he is putting together Dran's windmill now, while ryushon is behind now. So we're going to swap the audio here to Mike's audio. ryushon is still looking for the key and the last Atlas on floor 14. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you, Glitched. All the Dark Cloud community is here now. Alright, ryushon has picked up the torch. I think that might be the last part he needs. There's 2 Atlas left on this floor. Is it the last part? Must be, he's skipping that one. And if he has the key, he'll be gunning for the exit now. Whereas Mike is moving on to the boss of the dungeon, Dran. Now, Dran is weak to ice. And ideally, if Mike has a stamina drink, that'll speed things up a lot for this boss. It looks like ryushon still doesn't have the key. Now he does. Unfortunately, he had to kill every monster on this floor. That really sucks for him. But he still could catch up. It looks like ryushon, rather than going straight to the boss, might be picking up all the parts in the town that could help him along. Power-up powders, Fruit of Edens to increase HP. Whereas Mike's probably going to look at doing that after the boss. It looks like he doesn't have any stamina drink, but he's got Dran looped really well. And Dran's done. That was a very quick boss. Very nice. ryushon picking up all the items to help him out. Rid of Eden's power-up powders. There is also a pocket to get at the mayor's house. Pocket increases your inventory by 10 items, which, especially when you have Bandit Slingshot like ryushon does, the steel ability really fills up your inventory quick, so it's really nice to pick up as many pockets as you can, really. But we will not be picking up the pocket that you can get from Paige's house. That's a long cutscene to get that one. It's not really worth the time investment, usually. Alright, Mike is doing his shopping now. And we did only want the ice attribute for Dran. And ice isn't really good for a whole lot else, or not really worth switching to when you're speedrunning, so Yeah, fire's the attribute we want for the next dungeon, the Wise Owl Forest. There are a lot of things weak to fire there. There are also the pockles that are weak to wind, but yeah, not usually with the time of switching attributes. Alright, both players picking up the pocket at the same time. Though Ryushon still does have to do the boss. And Mike is moving on to the next area. Ryushon has 5 fire powders, that's very nice. He can make an immediate attachment with those. He can level up a weapon 5 times and turn it into attachment. So if he picks up a good weapon, he might do that and choose to put it on Bandit Slingshot. He might do it now, or he might wait for, say, the Serpent Sword on floor 9 of the next dungeon. We'll see. It looks like he is since sparing his Chris Knife, which is the best weapon he has to attach onto his Bandit Slingshot. Though he might use that attachment to help him with Dran. We'll see. He doesn't have an ice attachment for Dran. Mike is doing the duel with who, spoilers, will be our third ally, Goro here. But we won't see him, we won't pick him up until floor 9. Need to go through all this story and resolve his issues before he will join the party. Unfortunately, he did not get excellent on the duel, so he is not getting a gem attachment this time. It is a tricky duel, that one. The diagonal input in particular can really mess up a lot of players. Alright, Ryushon is on the boss. He still does not have ice equipped, so he might do a bit less damage to Dran here. It looks like he doesn't have a stamina drink either, unfortunately. He did manage to catch Dran from flying away. Didn't have to swap to Shao, love that. He is flying away now and it's Shao time. Caught him early, it's nice. Oh, he does have ice. Alright, here we go. That does a lot more damage. Unfortunately, not looping him as well as we saw earlier. Bit of healing, bit of defense. Defense increases. Take less damage. We don't like taking damage. And Mike is entering the second dungeon, which is... There's only the 2 dungeons in this category. This dungeon has 17 floors, with the 17th floor being the boss floor. And floor 9 will be a special floor where we want a whole lot of necessary alibi. Utan has finished Dran, very nice. Now, Utan has already done his shopping and his gathering of the items around town, so he can move straight on to the second town and then the second dungeon. He can still pull ahead at any time. So with this second upgrade to Shamshir, he's got 3 power-up powders. He could continue upgrading it in Synth Spirit, but I think the next best item weapon he has is the Gladius, so probably worth keeping the Shamshir as is for now. Now, the Wise Owl Forest painstakingly has 3 keys to progress to the next level, and the owl guarding the exit could choose any one of them as the item that he wants. So it's a 1 in 3 chance whether the key you've picked up is the key for this exit. It is a real pain, and it is the only dungeon in this game that has more than 1 exit key. Now ryushon has since spared his Chris Knife and put it on Bandit Slingshot. A very good decision, I reckon. And that's going to increase his damage output with Shao by a lot. Now, here's the Picky Owl. He does not want the Pointy Chestnut, and does he want the... Oh, he didn't want the rock, he did want the Pointy Chestnut. And he is showing the way to the next floor. It is up to Mike whether he will progress here, or he's going to go pick up more Atla. Very good decision. There is a lot of Atla. 13 that we want to progress the story at this point. 14 plus rivers. 19? 19 Atla? It's a lot. We're going to want 5 rivers. We're going to want all the parts for Kao's house. The Baron's house is a nice to have. It has a power-up powder. But you do not have to complete it. And we also want the parts for the Mushroom house. We can get half the parts, 4 out of 7 of the parts, in this half of the dungeon, with the last 3 being the only Atla we need in the second part of the dungeon. I did miss whether ryushon got an excellent on that jewel. Anyone catch if he got a gem? No gem. Alright, alright. Alright, the players are kind of have the same sort of luck with the duels at the moment. They've both missed one, both got a useless gem, and have both gotten a Peridot. Clear is good for that one. You don't want to be failing that one. That's a it takes a bit of time to it's a time cost failing that and having to reattempt it. Some of the duels are very quick to retry. It's just a little prompt. You die, do that again, and you do it again. But if you fail Goro's duel, you have to leave that area, load screen, go back in, load screen, wait for him to jump down from the ladder. It takes way too long. And now it's time for ryushon to enter the floor. Mike is just starting, almost halfway through floor 2. So about a floor and a half ahead at the moment. Could still change at any time. And we've gotten the berry, tasty berry. Another possible key to exit the floor. and the pointy chestnut, another possible key. And Ryushon has gotten the red berry as well. Now the exit is on the other side of the dungeon for Ryushon, but whenever he's near it, he could check whether he has the key and figure out whether he needs to keep killing monsters to try to get some more. Ryushon's picked up Baron's house, a free nice power-up powder if he wishes to get it, but he does already have enough power-up powders to synth Spirit's weapon. Actually, he's already done that, hasn't he? Mike is moving on to floor 3, the owl is pleased, and Ryushon is checking his keys. And he is pleased the owl as well, so he can move on if he wants. He is moving on. He's taking the risk on the Atla. Mike starting floor 3 and Ryushon starting floor 1. So it's just one floor difference now. Ryushon catching up a little bit. And a early possible key for Mike. A second possible key. Mushroom house. Nice. That is the house we want to complete to get the key for the boss at the end of the dungeon. Yeah, there are 4 pieces of it in this half that we need to get before we move on to the second half. And Mike now has the last key for this floor. And Ryushon also has all 3 keys for floor 2. So he can safely stop killing monsters now. Alright, it looks like Mike might be moving on to floor 4 while Ryushon moves on to floor 3, keeping that 1 floor lead. Now floor 4 is a limited zone for Shao again, where you can only use Shao. That means there's no outlet to pick up on this floor, and as soon as you get the exit key, you can leave. Can be a quick floor, or it could be a long one if you have to kill everything. Especially it's a shame for Mike that he does not have a slingshot, which ryushon has an advantage in. We might see ryushon save a bit of time in floor 4 over Mike. Alright, Mike's gotten a key. Once he finds the exit, he will be checking whether that is the key that's wanted. Mike relying heavily on bombs as he doesn't have a slingshot. Hopefully he doesn't have to use them for too long. Hopefully he can get out of this floor quick. Got some long hallways in this map. It's not a great map. ryushon's got another key. Mike has 2 of the 3 possible keys, and the first one is accepted. That's nice. Mike will now be moving on to floor 5. No, ryushon could still catch up once he gets to floor 4. If he has a early key, if the exit is easily accessible to check keys, he could save a lot of time there. Alright, so ryushon has got the exit open to the next floor, but he's just going to pick up the rest of the outlet first. On to floor 4 for ryushon. Made an immediate dead end, but that's a good thing. You know, we don't have to go that way now. I mean, he has a key, and now if we can just find the exit to check it. See, Mike is purposefully going around the RNG circles, doesn't want to take a risk on those. ryushon checking his keys. And he does unfortunately not have the right key yet. He will need to keep killing monsters for that one last key. And he's on the last room of the floor. That is a shame. He's got the key now and he can leave. I see there's a big chest there. Is he going to grab it? Yeah, he wants to know what's in it. And it's a clown. And he got a sham shirt. A little too late, unfortunately. Mike checking his keys. He does not have the key for floor 5 yet. And now ryushon pulling ahead just a little, not pulling ahead, sorry, catching up just a little. He is on floor 5 with Mike now. The Shamshu collector, true. On ryushon's last race, he picked up 5 or 6 Shamshus? Don't think he ever got a slingshot. He just kept picking up those Shamshus. Right, Mike has got 2 keys. That is one of them will be the key he needs. And he'll be moving on to floor 6 now. ryushon is still at the start of floor 5. He knows where the exit is at least. He can check his keys whenever he wants. Mike accidentally throwing a bomb, pressing square to use Drain's Feather but being over the wrong slot. Really hate when that happens. I know I do that far too much. ryushon is making quick work of the mimics with the bandit slingshot. Quick work of everything, really. Unfortunately, bombs can just miss their targets like that quite often. ryushon is checking his keys. He has 2 of 3. Will he be joining Mike in floor 6? He will! He skipped, looked like 3 outlet there. Hopefully he doesn't have to backtrack for those. Hopefully this risk does pull through for him. Very possible, isn't it? ryushon is slowly but surely catching up. The bandit slingshot just makes such quick work of these enemies. And Mike has picked up a small sword. It looks like he's going to be sparing his Shamshu and putting it on his new weapon. That's a very nice attack. Nice. Has The small sword is a very good weapon, but it does have less reach than the Shamshir. But it has much higher attack, especially with a Shamshir synth spear on it. Ryushon skipped rooms in 2 floors earlier. Seems like Ryushon might, if unless he gets very lucky, he might have to do some revisits to some floors. Mike picking up stamina as he has the default weapon equipped. And that stamina will stay on Xiao as long as she's not the active player or he doesn't leave the dungeon. So whenever he does swap to Xiao, the timer on that stamina is going to keep ticking. Could help him out if he needs to use it. Mike moving on to floor 7, and Ryushon, I believe, also moving on to floor 7? Yes, Ryushon has caught up. These two neck and neck now, although Mike has safely picked up more Atla through the dungeon. Whereas Ryushon has taken a risk to catch up here. See a big chest on Mike's screen. Hopefully there's a slingshot in there for him. Oh, Ryushon also has one, and it's Chris Knife. We don't want that. And Bone Rapier. We don't want that either. Mike has picked up the moustache key, the randomly appearing door key for this floor, so he could stop opening chests if he wants. It looks like he's not, that's alright. Now he's got the magical crystal and you can see where all the Atla are, that's nice. Looks like Mike has been picking up some early rivers. He might be able to skip some Atla in the next floor. Usually if you pick up all the Atla, floor 8 ends up being mostly rivers. He's already picked up at least 2 rivers that I've seen, so he might be able to skip some Atla the next floor. Ryushon has got the key, has found the exit for floor 7. And he is moving on. That's probably going to be a revisit for him. Probably will need those Atla that he's just skipped. But for now, he's on floor 8. We'll go over and swap to his audio for a little bit. He might be lucky, he might get the Atla he needs, but I think he has skipped too many. Now Mike taking his attachments off the small sword to upgrade it, so he can easily move those attachments to another weapon, say probably when he gets the serpent sword, chucking them all on the serpent sword. And the serpent sword will be next floor, he will be getting that. And got one of the keys on Ryushon's screen. And he's going to be checking that soon to see whether he has the key. But he will still need to pick up the rest of the outlet at this point. Seeking key. You know, he might be able to stop killing monsters, that would be nice. Oh, he's got all 3 keys! And the first one's accepted. Mike has gotten a key now. So Ryushon's just going and picking up the arrow real quick before he leaves. Mike picking up those last rivers he needs. Haven't seen Ryushon picking up the rivers, and he has picked up all the antler on this floor now, so he might have to start revisiting some floors now. Unfortunately for him, it is going to cost him some time. And he's continuing to the next floor. Floor 9. And it looks like there was an accident. He's leaving the dungeon now, and it's time to put together as much of the town as he can. And Mike has finally gotten a slingshot. Unfortunately, it is a bone slingshot, which is not great, but it is a slingshot. On a full 80% raise, that would be viable. You can build that up to be good, but in the time frame of an Utan percent raise, it's just not worth building up any weapons. Looks like Ryushon does have all the parts for the mushroom house. He's now going to talk to Cacao, see what he wants for his house. And he's going back to the dungeon to grab what he needs for his house, and probably also the rivers to revive Trent. Looks like he skipped maybe 6 antler total. Mike heading to the exit of floor 8, it looks like. Upgrading his weapon. I imagine he'll want to be picking up the power-up powder from the Baron's house, and maybe making a synth spear out of this weapon as well. Mike is leaving the dungeon, he is done here, and he is putting together the town. Baron's house, pick up that power-up powder in the back there. Love it. Ryushon is leaving the dungeon. And heading back in to reselect another floor to pick up some more. Let's switch over to Mike's audio. Looks like he's ahead at the moment. So Cacao here gives you the odd tune flute that you'll need to call out the snake in floor 9. Beat the snake, get an item, talk to Goro, and then... Oh, and he also has to talk to Treant. There's quite a few cutscenes to get through in this floor 9 section here. Ryushon picked up the atlas he needed from floor 5. And now he is reconnecting the river. As Mike has everything he needs and is doing the floor 9 duel. No? He's forgotten the serpent sword, hasn't he? He still needs to talk to Treant. Yes, he does. He still needs to reconnect the river, which is what Ryushon has just done, though Ryushon still has to talk to Cacao as well. Mike placing himself right by where Treant will be to walk straight in to see him once he is revived. As Ryushon's doing right now. Treant will give Tan the serpent sword that he needs to defeat the killer snake, which is the jewel of floor 9. It is the killer snake that killed Goro's dad. So once he's gone and we prove what's happened to Goro, he will be joining us as an ally. Now, the Serpent Sword is a unique sword in that until you defeat the Killer Snake, you actually can't break the Serpent Sword, much like your default weapon, or it won't disappear at least. I can't remember whether it breaks. I think it just goes to 0 and just keeps working, I think. But we're not going to play around with it. We destroy the Killer Snake straight away, and it becomes a regular weapon that can break and disappear once that part of the story is being progressed. Now, Mike has a sword, and he is moving on to defeat the Killer Snake in floor 9. Mike swapping to Xiao to avoid the optional werewolf duel. If you enter the floor as Own and step forward, you will trigger the werewolf duel, but if you swap characters before then, you can just skip it. There's a closer gap with him before when he's shy. Excuse me, Ryu's side. That's very exciting for him. Looks like Ryu's doing his shopping now, whereas Mike will probably be doing it after. Mike's just clearing the battle. Not getting the gem, unfortunately, but yeah, it might have been on purpose. Might be for that tiny time save of obtaining the jewel, or it might be might have just been an accident. It is not an easy jewel. The jewels of the first dungeon are a lot easier with just 5 and then 4 button inputs. These ones are a lot longer. You know, if you miss it, you weren't guaranteed a good gem anyway. You just think, you know, maybe it was going to pick up a diamond, you know, maybe it was just something I didn't need and it doesn't matter. Ryushon is indeed closing this gap. Maybe, what would we be? Maybe 30 seconds behind at the moment? It looks like Utan isn't going to perfect this duel either, but, you know, you just want to clear it. You don't want to have to take the time to redo the whole thing. And Mike now has Goro. Ryushon's going to see him right now, not far behind. Mike's doing his shopping as well, so, you know, they are pretty much neck and neck right now. They might even be re-entering the dungeon at the same time at this rate. Mike's selling his extra sun juice he picked up. You do need one, but only one to get to the final boss. Selling his bandit slingshot, or bone slingshot, sorry. Don't really want it. It is a slingshot, but is it worth it in this category? We probably want the money for the extra bombs. Clean up his inventory of those bombs, leaving 1 slot spare. And now it's time to go back to the dungeon. Ryushon won't be far behind. He is almost at the end of this cutscene, and he has already done his shopping. We try to leave the dungeon as little as possible to restock, so really trying to set ourselves up here for completing the whole dungeon without leaving wherever possible. And Ryushon is now entering the dungeon, not far behind at all. Really catching up here. Ryushon does have the advantage of the bandit slingshot. He could pull ahead. Even without it, he could pull ahead. It's going to help him out a lot. Now, base attack of the small sword is 22, serpent sword is also 22. Bit of a hard decision to make, but serpent sword has better reach, so it is probably a better call to be using the serpent sword. Spot on with the 30-second difference. Hey, that was a good guess. It was fully a guess. Alright, we've got a big chest for Ryushon, and he's deciding to not open it. He's already got the bandit slingshot. There's nothing more that he really needs that would help him here. So Ryushon is opting to save the time of opening that chest. 3 Atla, that's right. In this last leg of the race, got about maybe half an hour left here. The players just need to collect 3 Atla to progress the plot to reach the last boss. The last 3 Atla we need for the Mushroom House. Complete that, get the cutscene, and get the Moongrass Seed that we need. Mike checking his keys, and the owl does not want the pointy chestnut this time. So the outlet that we're looking for are the balcony, the second floor, that's the name of it, and Ro, who is the man of the house, if you want to call him that, you know. There's the husband and wife in the Mushroom House, and he is the husband. And he has the scariest expression on at all times. He has seen some stuff. He has tiny little pupils, eyes wide open, staring into the depths of hell. I do not like Ro's face. We'll see him later. Looks like neither of the players have picked up any of the parts they need yet. The sooner that RNGesus lets them pick up those parts, the more time they can save by skipping Atla. And both players' keys accepted in sync. These two are neck and neck now. This is crazy. Both entering floor 11 at the exact same time. Ryushon has indeed caught up, and his little gambles have saved him enough time to be up here with Mike. Unfortunately, the RNG circle he ran over has given all enemies stamina. That is going to increase not only their attack, but their defense most painstakingly. But it does wear off very quickly, as you can see right there. Every time an enemy spawns in, it is going to have stamina for that same time frame. Mike has gotten a key for this floor. Hopefully it's the right one. 2 keys. A 2 and 3 chance of being able to progress early. Or to simply stop killing monsters early. He's going to check those keys now. And he does not want the berry. Does he want the chestnut? He does! It's up to Mike whether he will keep gathering Atla or move on and take that risk. Because you only need 3 Atla, it can be worth taking that risk, but no, he's going to opt for gathering the rest of the Atla. Just keeping himself safe. It's a good race strat. Ryushon also picking up some keys now. That is true. This race did start with you being 1.5 floors ahead for a while through the first leg of the race. Things have really turned around a number of times, and Ryushon just picked up one of the 3 Atla that he needs, the balcony. And Mike at the same time. Okay, this is crazy. Alright, both players have the balcony and need 2 more parts now. Alright, no more of the Atla that they need yet. It looks like Ryushon has picked up all of the Atla on this floor now. As Mike still has a couple. But Ryushon does not have the key yet, or he has a key. Or a few keys, maybe. Not sure if they're the right ones. Mike has just picked up Ro. That is the second of the 3. He might be able to start skipping some outlet now. And Ryushon has got his key accepted. He can also move on now. Now it looks like Mike is now gunning for the exit. He has got all the Atla. Ryushon has pulled ahead, but Mike still has an extra Atla. Now this next floor is a Goro limited zone. We can only use Goro. Goro's attacks are... He's a heavier hitter than Xiao, but he is... His attacks are very slow. There's that payoff. Or rather not a payoff. We don't want slow. But he does get some very good weapons. Ryushon's gotten a key already. We're gonna go ahead and swap over to Ryushon's audio again. Sounds like a second key drop, possibly? Nope, just item drops. He's gonna check that key he got earlier. 2 keys. Come on. And not this time. He needs to still get 1 more. There are no Atla on this floor, so as soon as he gets that, he is free to leave without any risk taken. Mike has picked up a key. Hopefully he finds the exit soon, so he can check whether it's the one. Oh, second key. 2 and 3 chance. As Ryushon is now moving ahead to floor 13. This is a really close race by these two. This is exciting, eh? Floor 13, it is time for Xiao's big DPS to come back. That's enough of Goro. I love Goro as a character, but he is just slow. Mike has his key accepted, and he is moving on to join Ryushon in floor 13. Ryushon is ahead, but not by much, but he is really pulling past. Pulling ahead. Hopefully Ryushon can find the Atla that he needs soon. Hopefully Mike can find that last one he needs soon. Whoever picks up all the Atla they need first can save a lot of time skipping all the rest. But you know, RNG can be really iffy sometimes, and you know, maybe they'll still be picking up Atla in floor 16. These things do happen. Ryushon has picked up Rose, so these players both have the same 2 of the 3 Atla now, and they are both looking for the second floor. Yes, the second floor. And that will be the last part that they need. It is a bit hard to hit the that log with the hammer sometimes. If you're too close, you can still like interact with it and get the dialogue pop up, but you are going to overshoot it. You have to line it up just right. It's a bit of a pain. Going back and picking up the key that he got dropped, and a second key. Hopefully, is he? Hopefully he has the ones he needs. It looks like he might have all three. It looks like he isn't killing any more monsters, but he has killed most of the ones in this floor already. We really are going for a photo finish. Mike has picked up one of the keys for this floor as well. And ryushon has picked up all 3 Atla now. He just got the second floor. So he can stop picking up Atla and just freely go through the floors as soon as he gets the keys now. Hopefully Mike can pull ahead. Hopefully Mike can catch up and get that last Atla he needs as well. Any time would be nice, wouldn't it? ryushon moving on to the next floor. He has really pulled ahead here, but Mike could still catch up if he gets that last Atla he needs. And after that, it's all dependent on the owl, whether he accepts keys or not, whether players can move on early or have to keep going through the dungeon and killing monsters. And Mike has his key accepted. He is moving on to floor 14 with ryushon here. ryushon has gotten his first key drop of this floor very early. He hasn't even got to a room yet. Now the witches can't carry keys, which is why them and the hornets, we just leave them. You can get a bit of experience from them, but they can't carry keys, so not usually worth killing them. ryushon is going to get that key checked by the owl. Is that what he wants? It is not, so he is going to have to keep killing monsters here for a while. Mike has gotten a second key for this floor. I believe it's a second. And it is the right key. So he can move ahead here, or he might opt to keep looking for that last Atla he needs. And he is going to go searching for that Atla. Still needs that second floor. Are we gonna open the chest? No, we're just checking. ryushon's just checking whether that chest is a king mimic, it seems, and it isn't, so it's not gonna have the key. We don't care about it. We already have all the weapons we need. Mike, on the other hand, does not have a slingshot, does not have a bandit slingshot, and it's not really worth investing at one if it drops at this point. Now, Mike is moving on to floor 15, but he does still need that last Atla. Now, it will come to him, because he hasn't skipped any yet. His health is getting very low. Oh, he's healed himself up, that's very good. And ryushon has his key accepted and he's going to be joining Mike in floor 15. Now Mike has 2 of the keys for this floor now. Big chest, and it is Steve! Give it up for Steve. That is a slingshot. Is it worth using? I don't think so at this point. But if he feels the need, he now has one. Steve is a very unique weapon in this game. It talks. It gives you a funny dialogue about each of the monsters as you fight. Mike has also picked up the last key for this floor now, so he can stop killing monsters, but he still wants those Atla. He is still looking for the second floor. Looks like Mike has been through this whole floor now. He is now moving on to the next floor. Audio's getting a little dicey. It's alright, it's coming back. And another key for ryushon. Is this the one? I think it has to be at this point. I think that's all the monsters. And it is accepted, and he's joining Mike in floor 16 at pretty much the same time. Mike has also only just entered. Now this is the last floor. It is really unfortunate that Mike is still looking for that last piece here, but the players are still neck and neck. This could be anyone's game. Mike picking up a key, checking the key, and he has to keep killing monsters. The owl really has it out for you this time round, doesn't he? Now, Mike's map for this floor is a very small one. That's good for him, whereas ryushon's is very spread out, long hallways and 5, 6 rooms. But he is going to check his keys now, and it's accepted, so he can leave the dungeon and set up for the final boss of this race. Mike's still looking for that last Atla. It's a real shame the Atla are not being kind to him this run. So this here is Ro with the Stare of Death. I've talked to him, see what he wants for his house, talk to Annie, what does she want, and put the house together. And Mike picked up the second floor. It looks like that is the last or second to last Atla. That is really rough. But now he can leave. That is the second to last Atla. That is really bad luck. Now he got the first 2 parts really early. It's a shame it didn't pay off in the end. He just had to keep searching. Now he is exiting the dungeon and going to be doing what ryushon's doing now. Mike putting together the house. And he's trying to get the house dwellers to spawn outside, but they are refusing. So we have to go inside to talk to them. We'll finish putting together the house. Ryushon just finishing the cutscene while Mike just starts the cutscene. Ryushon's now going to do his shopping. We want approximately 30 bombs to cheese the boss Utan. You just keep throwing bombs at him, and he keeps being stunned. He can't hit you, can't really do anything. That's how we usually do this boss here in these runs. Ryushon just selling as much as he needs to get enough money for all the bombs, fills his inventory, and he is off to see the boss. It is time to face Utan. Alright, Mike's doing his shopping now. While Ryushon is almost seconds away from the boss. Mike filling his inventory of bombs. He still needs a little more space to have enough. Alright, looks like that's enough bombs, and Mike is also heading to the boss now. Ryushon is beginning the bomb loop on Utan. Got a good seamless loop going. We want to keep one bomb in the item slot to quickly refill with triangle rather than going searching in the item menu. Mike just entering the boss now. And Ryushon has lost his chain. It's quickly regained. And Ryushon has won. That is it. Looks like Ryushon and Sonic might be having that rematch after all. Hey Ryushon, congratulations!
Thank you. Oh my god, my heart is in my throat.
You did so well. That was neck and neck the whole way. Started off with you being ahead, then Mike caught up, was ahead by about the same amount you used to be, and then you came back through. Yeah, getting the outlet early, that was great, eh?
Yeah, I had everything, I think, by floor 13. I mean, that was insane.
Yeah, that was really nice. Mike had to pick up, I think, all the Atla, or except for one in floor 16. It was a real shame. But you two were neck and neck, entering floors at the same time the whole way, especially through the last leg.
That's crazy. Yeah, so there's pivotal moments where like I'll pull it up and I'm like, all right, where are we comparatively? Like try and get an idea. But I try not to watch it because I don't want to like get in my head about it, you know. So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm finishing Duran and I'm like doing all that dialogue and I peek over and I'm like, oh man, he's already in like the forest. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta hustle, you know. So like I made some calls like early in the forest and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go. I'm just going, and you know, it ended up having to search for those rivers, which I thought was gonna bite me real hard, and thankfully like I got them reasonably quickly, I feel like. But yeah, I'm surprised I pulled that one out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, those gambles really did pull through. I don't think you would have. You probably wouldn't have caught up otherwise. Though that very last leg did go really well. Yeah, those gambles really did catch you up real good.
I still can't believe like I didn't find another sword until floor 10.
Yeah, that sword luck was absolutely terrible. But it was very lucky that you got the bandit slingshot to help recover that, eh?
Yeah, back to back. I kind of struggled with deciding on do I still fight with the sword and try and build it up a little bit for Duran because I was already gonna have a hard enough time, or just use the bandit slingshot and hopefully like gain a gap. And looting those extra level up powders, like I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna full send it. You know, like
Yeah.
we're gonna toss everything into this weapon and cross our fingers.
Yeah, that worked out really well, eh? It was interesting, Mike getting that. I think he got a Shamshire floor 2, but didn't pull ahead by that much. Like, the key RNG was really what was determining things at the start there.
I feel like in Divine Beast, I got a lot of fairly early keys.
I remember you did actually.
I think the only key that I could remember being an absolute pain was on floor 3, where I was fighting that statue with a broken dagger.
Yeah, that was rough. Hey, how's it going? How did you find it?
All good, all good. GG's with you.
Thanks. I peeked over from time to time. I mean, you ran a really good race.
Yeah, we went back and forth. But as soon as you got that bandit, I was like, yep, it's almost over. A bandit that early is super good.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it was really good, but it didn't stop you from getting to the forest before I did.
I ended up getting lucky with the keys later on, but not at the start. Even the floors were complete trash at the start. I was not getting lucky.
But the keys were a lot kinder to you in, I think, the forest than they were to Ryushon.
True.
Yeah, but you still kept neck and neck with the advantage of the keys versus the advantage of the bandit slingshot.
Yeah, it almost evened out. But I think what cost me was the second floor now. It just... And I skipped one Atlo on floor 14. And I was watching the ends, and I was like, I cannot believe that was gonna be the second floor. That single Atlo. But, well...
Yeah. Well, you had some really bad Atlo luck having to pick them all up, eh?
Yeah, for sure. Epic race. That's what we want to see.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it was a good race. That's all I can ask for.
It was a really good race. It was very exciting. Good job, you two, and congratulations, Ryushon.
Yeah, congrats.
Sonic and I get our epic rematch.
I'm very excited for that. Rematch of the very first race of the tournament. I think it was.
Yeah, it was the very first one. He took it by only a few seconds, so
yeah,
we're gonna have another close one.
It's gonna be a good one. All right. Anything else you two want to mention?
No, just thanks for Speed Gaming for having us. I mean, it's been a blast doing this whole tournament. Each race has just been more and more fun, in my opinion, and I look forward to many more.
Totally agree. Shoutouts to
Awesome.
Speed Gaming.
For sure. Thank you, Speed Gaming. And where can everyone find you two?
Looks like Word just put it in the chat, but it is ryushon91. They are on Twitch and on YouTube. I do stream most Fridays, Saturdays. Try to get some in there during the week when I can. So just come on in, hang out.
Nice. And Mike?
Yeah, it's MikeZorD95 on Twitch, and just MikeZorD on everywhere else. I occasionally speedrun when I get free time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just be gaming and chilling.
Nice, nice. All right. So thank you all for watching. Give these guys a follow. I myself am Sticky Cheeseburgers on Twitch and YouTube. It was lovely commentating this. This is a really cool race.
Yeah. Thank you for the support. And for
Alright, thank you
commenting too.
guys. Ah, all good. I really enjoy doing it. Alright, we'll see you in the next one.
Don't forget to follow Speed Gaming too. They'll let you know when it's happening again.
That's right.
All right. See you, everyone. Thanks.